Hi everyone, it's Tanya and welcome back to my channel. Today I am going to do a book unhaul. I have a few books, not that many. I have 10 books that I want to unhaul and I want to bring them today to like a book off, like a secondhand bookshop here in Tokyo, and I will take you along, but it will be in a different video, in a vlog. And I think the vlog should be already up, so you can watch it somewhere here. In general, I'm just planning on having a beautiful day. I want to go and sell my books to the secondhand bookshop and then go to see Sakura, because Sakura is already blooming. We will do that. You can watch the video here, but for now I will show you the books that I want to unhaul. The first book that I want to unhaul is actually a surprise for me. I really expected to like this book like a lot. I didn't hate it. It was like an okay book. I gave it, I think, 3 stars, maybe 3. I think I gave it 3 stars, but it was just nothing special to me, and I feel like it wasn't well researched. I didn't like the way Penelope was portrayed in this book. So this is the Penelopiad by Margaret Atwood, and it's her debut novel. Yeah, I just feel like Penelope was portrayed as a girl throughout the whole book. I didn't notice her growing. I didn't notice like any particular character development in here. She was a 15-year-old girl when she married Odysseus, and she stayed 15-year-old girl when she was already in the second, the death world, where like all the souls go. It was a disappointment for me. However, I think it was a good beginning for Margaret Atwood, so I am still going to read some of her other novels. I really want to read Elias Grace. It was okay. It was just okay. It was nothing special. And in my library, when I hope I have like a big library, I want to have only the books that I really love. Books that I want to come back to, and I would like my children, when they are born, to read as well. So only favorite and the best of the best books, like in my humble opinion. So okay, so the next book that I want to get rid of is Akatovich. I tried with this book. I started reading it, didn't really like it, and then I just kind of stopped and waited, and then I came back to it, and again I didn't like it. So I'm getting rid of it. I felt it didn't feel magical, it just didn't feel magical to me. And also there were so many Harry Potter elements, like just a little bit changed, but like still Harry Potter element. It didn't feel like a fraud or like a rip-off, but I didn't accept it, And just Harry Potter did it better. In Harry Potter, those elements were way better than in this book. And in here I just didn't really like any of characters. They are 12 years old, like most of them. The one guy is like a little bit older, maybe 15, but 3 other characters are 12 years old, and they behave like teenagers, like already older teenagers, 17 or maybe 18 years old, like talking about hot boys, and boys talking about hot girls, and I'm like, no, 12 years old, no. I expected it to be very imaginative, because here Ursula K. Le Guin says that there is more vivid imagination in the page of the author's work. Apparently he said that not about this book. Next book is The Whistler by John Grisham. I bought this book last year for Spookathon, because there was like read a thriller, and this is supposed to be a thriller, but I read a few pages and I really didn't capture my imagination. I'm not very much into contemporary books, and also I don't really like books with like, where the main female character is this like full of herself and the best at everything, and she's just like rude to people. I don't like this. I don't like such women in real life. Why would I like them in books? This book also was a no for me. Next book that I'm getting rid of, and I had very love to hate relationship. With this book I had love to hate relationship. This is Little Women. I know, don't hate me. Don't hate me. So the story is as follows, but it's just like my story. It's nothing like, okay, maybe something is against this book, but just hear me out. So I really loved the first part, Little Women. So the book contains of two parts, right? So Little Women and Good Wives. So Little Women I loved. It was like I adored it. I adored it with my whole heart. But then Good Wives happened. And Good Wives ruined everything for me. They just ruined it. So what happened? First, I was reading Good Wives, and then there comes this phrase. Let me tell you. I will just read it to you. So just keep in mind that I am from Russia. Okay, so in the chapter 37 in Good Wives, it's called New Impressions. There is, in the very beginning, there is this statement. So Amy is looking at like people living in London, and so how they are described. Many nations are represented, many languages spoken, many costumes worn. And on a sunny day, the spectacle is as gay and brilliant as a carnival. Haughty English, lively French, sober Germans, handsome Spaniards. And here comes ugly Russians. And I'm like, and I just threw this book. I threw this book into the corner. I was so angry because all other nations are like described in positive adjectives, and Russians are ugly, which is so not true. I mean, have you seen the author's own portrait? She wasn't the daughter of Aphrodite. I really didn't like the way she described Russian people. I was so angry. I was furious. So after this, everything that I saw in this book were just faults. And later, so what happened, I still finished, I continued reading and I finished the book. But what happened next? Spoilers, people, spoilers ahead. So if you haven't read, you can skip this part. But what happened is that I just didn't understand Jo's relationships, like development of her relationships with men. Okay, maybe she wasn't good for Lori, even though like I still don't understand why, but like okay, fine. But then she finds her this like stupid professor, this stupid loser professor who is like 40 years old, and he still hasn't learned how to earn money and how to provide for himself. And I'm like, at 40 years old you could already like figure something out, no? And then someone mentioned that like he is a very respectful figure in Germany. And I'm like, oh, why then he left Germany if he's so well respected there? And I'm just and then she gives my favorite character, Jo, this brilliant young girl, to this stupid man. And I'm like, no, this is no terrible man for my favorite characters, because he's like, this was just so idealistic for like this second and the first part as well. It was just so like idealistic, and like in the first part, their mom, I just really didn't understand their mom. She was leaving to meet her husband, like sick husband, in the front, and she was like, don't forget the poor family. Well, apparently she didn't understand that poor families can get sick, and then they have no medicine to treat themselves, and then her daughters will also get sick. It just didn't occur to her. It didn't even cross her mind. And then we see Betty getting sick and dying. Oh well. But she went to meet the poor family. Way too idealistic. I mean, there is nothing wrong with helping like poor people, but like take certain precautions in order not to get sick yourself. For example, don't send your sickly daughters when you are not home. Honestly, this book, after when I read it, I'm like, no, this is just no. So yes, Little Women, getting rid of it. Next one is Haunting of the Hill House. And again, I read this book. It was so scary. I mean, I liked it. It's a brilliant book, but I read it once and I don't want to reread it because it was so scary. I had nightmares after this book for like a week maybe. Way too scary for me, but brilliant. I loved it, and that's it. Just once is enough. Another book is by a Japanese author actually, and it's a Japanese fantasy novel called Dragon Sword and Wind Child. This book also was nothing special for me. I read it, gave it 3 stars. It has Japanese culture, that's true, Japanese mythology, yes, but it wasn't very memorable, I guess, and didn't grasp my imagination, you know. So that's why I finished it. I read it, gave it 3.3 stars, and that's it. I'm not going to read it, so getting rid of it. The book is also a big, huge disappointment. I really wanted to like it, but I just didn't, and I'm thinking maybe I should give it another try. Maybe I don't know. But it's Keeper of the Lost Cities. I DNF'd this book, so I read maybe first 150 or 200 pages, something like that, and I DNF'd it because it wasn't magical, it didn't grasp my imagination, and it was just so fun. You know, in Harry Potter, when you discover this whole magical world, you are fascinated with Harry. Like, he is impressed by everything, interested in everything, and you are interested with him. In case of this book, she was just like, oh, giants, or this is a new big city, oh, okay. And like, I wasn't impressed either. I don't know, I didn't like the girl. But later I watched Peru's Project's reading vlog of this book, and she said that she also didn't like the first 250 pages, but she said that after 250 pages it gets better. So, but I really didn't like those 250 pages. I really didn't like them. I don't even want I don't even want to give it a second chance, because I really didn't like the beginning. And like, now what if I don't like the rest, and then I will just waste my time? I don't want to waste. This is, see, it's a debate. I don't know what I should do, but we will see. I think I will just get rid of it. There are so many good books, why should I waste my time on books that I don't like? Next book is also a huge disappointment. I really expected to love this book, and this is there. However, I hated it. I hated it. You can watch my reading vlog here. Such a huge disappointment. I really wanted to learn about like Native American culture from this book. What have I learned? That all of them are drunkies, all of them are alcoholics, all of them are drug addicted, or people who sell drugs, or like, you know, everybody is in trouble. Everybody is like, everything is bad, everything is terrible. There is no decent people in that community, apparently. I mean, judging from this book, which I don't want to believe. I am sure like there are people who are studying and who are working hard, and they are not represented in this book. Like, author decided that they are not important or only those who are struggling with alcohol and drugs and depressions, or like only those people are important. So that's what you see in this book, that all Native Americans in America are struggling with depression, alcohol and drug abuse. And this is not my type of a book. This is just not for me. I don't know, maybe it's true. I don't want to believe it. I will not believe it. I choose not to believe it. And the last two books are actually parts of the same duology, and this is Children of Blood and Bone. It's a huge disappointment. I really wanted to like these books. I even bought them like in hardcovers because I was convinced that I'm going to like them, but no, I didn't. You can watch also my reading vlog here, or like here, I don't know. If you loved it, it's wonderful. It just didn't work for me. Nothing like against the author or nothing against like the story, just it didn't work for me. So I don't want to offend anybody's feelings. I really don't. I'm just very emotional. Yeah, I can describe things in an emotional way, but I just don't want to offend anybody out there. This book just wasn't for me. This book was just too fast-paced for my liking. Like, I want to see her as a human being in her day-to-day life. I want to see how she interacts with her classmates, with her father, with her brother, with like in a regular situation, you know, like in a normal life. I want to see her as a person, and I didn't get it. That's why I wasn't really interested in the main character. Like, if I don't know a person, why would I care what is going on with him or her? I have my own problems. So why would I? Also, there were just like some elements in this book that I couldn't believe. Like, as a reader, when I read the book, I have to believe that this is what's happening. Like, I have to accept it. I have to say, yes, this is happening. Yeah. And in this case, I didn't. It was just too ridiculous. Like some parts of this book were just ridiculous to me, and I'm like, no, this cannot be right. This is just this is too much. This is not true. It cannot be. So I just didn't believe this book. You can see in more details in my reading vlog, but yeah, disappointment. I didn't even start the second book. No, not interested. And then like they travel, they go to different places, and again we don't get to see those places. Like there was like some old, like a temple, and I would like to know something about the temple, but like no, I didn't. I don't know. It was a huge disappointment, especially because like everybody on YouTube loved it so much, and then I read it, and I read like half of it, so I DNF'd it, and I was just like, no. I was so sad. This is a sad video. This is a video of my ruined hopes. But it's okay. So 10 books that I want to unhaul today. Wish me luck. I hope I can find the shop. Actually, I've never been there. And you can watch my vlog where I sell the books and where I go to the just having a good day in Tokyo and reading Serafina, because I'm intending to read Serafina today. I'm intending to read this book today. I hope I'm going to like it. However, I do have my doubts. I always have doubts. But I hope it's going to be good. Let's see. So I'm reading this book today. You can watch the vlog somewhere here, and yeah, thanks so much for watching. Have a good day, and I will see you soon.